It's very useful for carving and produces beautiful works of art.
It's one of China's oldest artistic materials.
The history of the elephant really is what one's talking about, because that's where ivory comes from. It's from the tusk of the elephant. Extends back literally thousands of years in China, to the very earliest periods of time, to the Shang Dynasty or even before the Shang Dynasty.
There's good reason for the extensive use of ivory throughout Chinese history. iGavel Auctions president Lark Mason says ivory is very versatile.
So ivory was a substance that was almost indestructible and yet became more beautiful the more often it was handled. So it had a range of purposes, from artworks to fulfilling purely utilitarian functions, serving as moldings on furniture or works of art, or mounts on objects that needed to be very durable and to withstand pressure.
Among other works of art, Mason's auction house sells antique ivory objects.
This was made in the 18th century. It's carved as a work of art, not as an object necessarily of veneration or anything, but just a beautiful carving. And it's made of ivory, and it depicts a beautiful lady. And she likely was holding a fly whisk at one time, which is broken off in her hand. And she may have in fact been intended to be a representation of Guanyin. But she could have also just been an attractive young woman. And what's noticeable about this is the fineness of the quality of the carving, and for a lot of people, the unexpected use of color. This one happens to have a combination of black, red, and brown highlights.
But the story of ivory doesn't end with beauty.
You know, yes, it's wonderful to have an ivory object, but on the other hand, it comes at a tremendous cost.
A cost many in China are unaware of.
About 70% of the Chinese don't know that the elephants have to die for them to get ivory.
It's illegal for African countries to sell ivory to China, but the trade continues on the black market.
China continues to be the largest consumer of ivory. And there is data from CITES and there is data from independent studies that point directly to China as being a consumer of illegal ivory.
This illegal trade has had a drastic effect on elephant populations.
There's been a tremendous escalation of poaching since the Chinese came into Africa in numbers.
Mason only auctions ivory objects made decades or hundreds of years ago. He does not condone the creation of new ivory carvings.
I think that there are plenty of other materials that carvers could use that would simulate the appearance of ivory if people were willing to make that bridge.
One alternative was developed in Japan.
The Japanese can even make a substance that's just like ivory out of eggshells and other products.
Today, the moral implications of modern ivory trade have made buying new ivory products socially unacceptable, but there are still a wide range of antique ivory objects on offer at auctions, works of art that carry the spirit of Chinese culture and capture the timeless beauty of this traditional carving material.